Hi, my name is Elise Stockman, and I am a second grade special education teacher. I absolutely love my job. When it comes to my experience with students who are deaf or hard of hearing, I've only had the opportunity to work with one student who was deaf when I was a third grade general education teacher. This student wore a cochlear implant and required a Roger speaker system in the classroom. I wore a microphone type device around my neck that transmitted my voice directly to his cochlear implant in noisy areas like our classroom, the gym, and the lunchroom. It was really neat to experience this, and I really felt like I grew so much that year. I have several students this year and in the past years who had speech differences in my classroom. I have students on varying levels, those with articulation errors to those who are almost completely nonverbal. I have one student this year who has a speech deficit that's so significant that it's really hard to understand most of what he says. Our SLP at our school thinks that he may have apraxia. I believe that hearing and speech differences pose a significant challenge in virtual learning. Accommodations such as the Roger microphone, which I use for my student who is deaf, would not be an option for a remote learner, as it relies on a frequency within a certain range. Additionally, microphones can make it challenging to understand someone whose speech is perfectly clear. When you add in a stutter or an articulation error, it makes it even more difficult to understand a child, which leads to frustration and anxiety for everybody involved. I believe one way technology has negatively impacted communication is through the language that students use. For example, one of my students with autism frequently plays Roblox at home. He is obsessed with brain rots and the language it uses, which is really just nonsense words. Because he has echolalia, he repeats these nonsense words all day long. I do not think it's beneficial for students to hear these repetitive phrases from video games instead of engaging with rich language from sources like books. I do believe technology has also contributed positively to addressing communication deficits. I think tools like assistive communication devices and the LAMP program on iPads provide students with voices who previously had limited means of communication. It's amazing how far we've come and how technology allows individuals with communication challenges new ways to connect, learn, and express themselves. I'm really excited to learn more about this in this class, and thank you for listening to me today.